Hello everybody and welcome back to CBR MTG. We have a special little video here for you today. We've got some Australian 7-point Highlander footage. If you want to find out more about this format, you can either listen to the previous video or follow the links in the bio below to ozeternal.com. You'll find a forum there filled with deck lists, as well as by clicking on 7-point Highlander, you'll find the current points list, so you can have a little read about this great format of ours down south.
Yeah, basically just a Singleton format, 60 cards, vintage ban list, plus some cards have points, and you can only have 7 points.
Yeah, that voice you can hear joining me today is Brandon Owen. We also have Jake Sims here.
How's it going, guys?
And we're watching Ben Sutherland on a green-white kind of Hate Bears company deck. So just your kind of general mana dorks and destructive creatures. Playing him is Lachlan on a blue-red Faeries deck. This is a deck that's like a bunch of like flash flyers and Mardinal in the form of Stifle, as well as Blood Moon, Mages of the Moon, and spending a point on Back to Basics. He also has True Nemesis, so it's kind of like a blue aggro control deck. And he is stifling Ben's mana base here, stifling that March Flats.
Yeah, combo with that Spellstar Sprite sitting in his hand there, it lets him get to his, basically on his opponent's turn one, he gets to cast that.
Blue Moon is an established deck in the format, but Lachlan's going a step further by throwing a bunch of fairies in there. He's got the
an interesting take.
Yeah, the Pestamite twin combo as the main win con, but yeah, similar shell to the Blue Moon deck. You have your Moon effects, obviously Back to Basics, which was mentioned. It's just a super consistent, good deck.
Creature-based control deck,
He decided to kind of spice it up a bit. He's been playing a Grixis control deck of late, as well as been playing a little bit of Elves. He's a historical Elves player. He's also a last year's National Highlander champion. So we have a National Highlander Championship here every year. It happens in Canberra at our annual CanCon. He was a victor year before this one with an Elves deck.
That Elves deck since becoming very popular.
Yeah.
It's a very strong deck.
It is a very good deck.
Gaining several points.
Yep.
In the meantime.
Yeah, it got a couple of points. Got that. It ended up getting crop rotation pointed. And
Natural Order got a point slapped on it.
Natural Order has been a card that's gone back and forth, being a point, being not a point. It's a very powerful shooter, but it comes with a lot of restrictions. So there can be certain environments where it's not very good, but the Elves deck is definitely one where it shines. So we see Dryad Militant here coming down from Ben, and it's an alright card. It's okay.
Yeah.
There are like ritual-based combo decks in the format, and often the ritual-based combo decks use Yawgmoth's Will or Passing Flames, so its ability is not irrelevant.
I mean, even here at stopping the pointed cards in Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time, which are likely being played in the show.
And Snapcaster as well has an impact on that. Unfortunately for Ben, Lachlan has dropped a True Name Nemesis, which, when that card was printed, when that card was spoiled, I was like, oh my goodness, this card is going to get pointed in Highlander. And we had a season without it being pointed, and everybody played it, so got a point.
Yeah, now that it has a point, everyone still plays it.
Yeah, it's a well-deserved pointed card. Yeah, the card is just absurd.
Yeah, green-white also being very light on ways to deal with it, except for maybe going wider.
Yeah, basically has nothing. Like, Sword of Fire and Ice can be used to get past it, and I know Ben is choosing to spend a point on Stoneforge Mystic as well as Jit as part of like an equipment package. We can see a Flicker Wisp in hand. He's just deployed a Wasteland here, which not really going to do a lot against Wordsmith's board of Mountain, Island, Arid Mesa.
Yeah, his mana base designed to play Blood Moon and Back to Basics.
Yep. Wasteland's not really gonna get the job done. He is kind of getting beaten down here, and he can't even race back at the moment because he can't attack this turn. So it is a tough position to be in. I think I see an even Mind Sensor pulled to the front there. We might see that deployed in response to this.
Maybe? Yeah.
Well, you can just deploy it on this Arid Mesa.
Yeah, that's probably a better use of it.
Yeah.
Wordsmith at this point though can just sit back on counter magic and
Yeah.
you know, we see he's got a mana leak there, and he's not interested in
I'm
using it on the
surprised
Arid
he
Mesa,
didn't
which is
crack the
kinda
Arid Mesa in response here.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting.
I think it's like just a bit of a mental misstep from him there. Like
Yeah.
there's so little reason unless you're immediately going to kill the even mindset.
Maybe something to do with like the new art throwing them off.
Yeah. This is the Armenket printing, like just some random flash flyer from the new set.
In a format like this, you know, you do get quite used to the artwork on cards. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
for
know.
sure.
I guess that's any format.
Ben
And
does have a Coco in hand, but yeah, there's no way he's going to fire it off while Lachlan is representing all this counter magic.
Yeah. Okay, if he can just time it right, that means if he can resolve a Coco and find some guys, that'll definitely help him win this race.
Yeah.
For
It is
sure.
a very, very fast clock. He is sitting on a piece of removal though in Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
like
with the click.
just killing. Well, it's a spell set of sprite, so it's just like
Oh right, of course.
yeah. So it's just like
That art.
yeah, getting tripped up by yourself.
Promo.
Yeah, I don't know, like plowing the 1/1.
Yeah, it's pretty garbage.
I'm gonna wait until until Lachlan plays like a some other more aggressive threat. I know he's playing a misbind click in there as part of the Faeries package.
It interacts very well with a Splinter Twin combo.
Oh yeah. Tap all their lands, then put a Splinter Twin in your guy. It's not too bad. Yeah, we see Manalik fired off on this combo.
He's also sitting on Memory Lapse, which is quite good when he's got this kind of like
yeah,
very
for
tempo
sure,
start.
for sure. And like Memory Lapse, an expensive spell, is very good. Ooh, Strip Mine here might actually do something. Depending on how this Arid Mesa goes, he could potentially take him off red.
Yeah, that even mind sensor. Very likely to do some work here.
Yeah, for sure. What do we have coming down in the post main? I think we have a Flicker Wisp. Or
Swords to Plowshares.
He's
I
got a
can't
plow,
tell what that
Flicker
third
Wisp.
card is.
Kitchen Finks.
Kitchen Finks.
Oh, Kitchen Finks is
Kitchen
really
Finks is
good.
Actually,
good,
very
yeah.
good.
That's fantastic. That really helps him kind of like get in control of this race here. Fortunately, using Horizon Canopy to cast it kind of minimizes its effectiveness. Wordsmith getting a bit hasty with his Arid Mesa here, and
Forgetting about the Even Mind
forgetting
Sensor.
about Arid Mind Sensor.
Someone's picked him up on it here.
Yeah, Ben
got him.
Ben caught him out on it. It can be the danger of popping down your spell before you resolve your fetches. Maybe your opponent has something to say about it. Maybe there's an effect you missed.
So as our resident judge, Lockie, what happens to you?
Yeah, basically, I asked the players kind of when this happened, when did you catch it, who caught it, blah blah blah, in terms of like finding out where we are in the game. And as you just saw, like very quickly, Wordsmith just grabbed his library, and then Ben was like, "Hey, wait, Mind Sensor." So because Wordsmith has kind of like he hadn't scried anything to the bottom. We already had a fetch lane happen, so his library's completely random. So basically, we just shuffle his library, make him resolve the search in Aven Mind Sensor mode, and then continue on the game. We're gonna pop Memory Lapse back in his hand, and so on and so forth. We play a regular here, so there's no penalties associated with it. But obviously, you always would advise the players to play more carefully in the future.
Yeah, look, I mean the shame, the certainly.
Definitely the public shaming is like a huge aspect of it. Yeah. And Arid Mesa is a risky fetch because can't find islands with it, and I assume his deck is mostly island mana based. But
strong.
Never
Slams
didn't
them
have it.
Yeah, Lachlan Wordsmith, a literal wizard.
yeah.
Tutoring that to the top there with his power of will.
Yeah, that means Ben is one attack away from death here.
And unfortunately can't take him off red.
Yeah, also. Not good at all.
Considering taking him off double blue maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
that's nice. This deck does rely on a lot of double blue spells. Counterspell, Trinity Nemesis, Vanilla Click.
Electrolyze to finish
Yeah,
him
that's-
off. Didn't
that's-
even need double blue. Just needed single blue to burn him out.
Single
Fair
blue.
enough.
Strong. Yeah, it kind of like combines these tempo plays with like just tons of counter magic, just like the even garbage counter spells like Memory Lapse can be very effective.
Yeah, Memory Lapse is basically Time Walk, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think this deck is also a little harder to board against because it's not like a traditional control deck where you can just board in like anti-blue stuff and be fine.
Yeah.
You've got to contend with the fact that this deck is going to have a bunch of aggressive flying creatures, and green white not exactly known to be a master of the skies.
Yeah, and especially if he tries to slow down to kind of combat the controlling elements, maybe getting some more resilient threats or something, or just being more careful to play around counter magic, then he could just get beaten down by small dudes.
For sure.
Small dudes. And they often do the trick.
Yeah. The kind of like equipment-based aggro decks or equipment-based mid-range decks in this format are very popular choice. Skull Clamp is a very contentious card, not as much lately as it has been in past. Melbourne.
The Adelaide boys love their Skull Clamp, don't they?
Yeah. The Melbourne Adelaide kind of metagame is very, very Skull Clampy. The thing with Skull Clamp, like if you play Skull Clamp and other people play Skull Clamp becomes very, very powerful. Because when you both have Clamp, whoever draws Clamp is really just going to power ahead, and it's just going to be so difficult to come back. But in our metagame, kind of no one really plays Clamp. There's a couple of people who play Clamp, but Clamp isn't actually very good against combo. And we have a lot more combo in our metagame than and a lot more innovation in our metagame and weird new decks. So that leads to Skull Clamp being a little less good in our particular metagame, but in a Melbourne metagame where there's a lot of you're either playing a Clamp based mid range or aggro deck, or you're playing a control deck. So it's a very dominant force in that metagame where it's not as dominant in ours.
Yeah, and it's very good against control decks. It's a very efficient card advantage engine.
Just turns all your guys into +2 cards, so it makes their 1-for-1 removal spell plan just like really bad.
Really, really bad.
Yeah, and especially if you have some way to generate tokens over and over again via Bitter Blossom, a Firemancer, that kind of thing, like just a consistent way to keep getting bodies to put the Clamp onto.
Yeah, Mental Misstep's a pretty like pervasive card in this format. A lot of non-blue decks do play it, just to counter Mental Misstep or counter these impactful one drops.
Definitely. There's a lot of impactful one drops in the format. A lot of the tutors, like the top deck tutor cycle, some of them are pretty popular and they can all be hit by Misstep. And like up until a lot of blue cards got pointed, six over this last 6 to 12 months. Ancestral Recall was a very popular choice to spend a good chunk of your points on, 4 points on Ancestral, and Misstep is a very good answer to Ancestral. I think Ben is looking for a hand that just has at least a Mana Dork and at least maybe like a Loxodon Smiter or Athalia Heretic Cathar, some powerful threat he can power out with
which is also like interactive or like
a taxing
effect.
Yeah. I think any hand that involves an Aether Vial would be very, very good as well. Even though this control deck is more aggressive than other control decks, the general principle of what this deck is looking for in its opening hand still applies.
Okay, his mana, I don't know, this doesn't look like a great color start for him. Like maybe he's like light on some green mana here.
It's not ideal, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got the white creatures, it's fine.
And Jit resolving is very, very good.
Yeah.
It's not kind of like be all and end all, because Smith is playing red, and red can destroy artifacts.
Yeah.
But
in fact, yeah, there's an Abrade in his hand right now.
Yeah.
Breakout 2-drop.
I'm sure any legacy players will just had a shiver go up their spine when they saw an end step brainstorm.
Yeah.
He was probably looking for days there at that Jite, and instead he found this Abrade. It's nice.
Not too bad there. He had a fetch at least to shuffle one card away. So.
Also his hand already looks very good, so it's not like, you know, maybe he just wanted to be mana efficient instead of being, I don't know, seeing more cards.
Yeah, we see end of turn Abrade on this Jit. Locks out on Smiter, a huge problem for this blue-red deck. Just like the 4/4 body, as well as like not being able to counter it, is very, very good. But the perfect reply here, True Name Nemesis.
Smith drawing his points well.
Yeah, True Name cares not how big your guy is. If it has trample, it's a problem, but otherwise, it's just going to sit in front of it. And looks on Smiter, unfortunately, just not being able to break through this True Name Nemesis. Yeah, it's going to need some help.
He's definitely got a good window to resolve some impactful spells.
Yeah. If you could resolve like a collected company or something here, molto bene.
Yeah, and it's super unlikely that Wordsmith has days. Given that he brainstormed for it and hasn't seen an extra card since, I don't think.
Well,
he fetched, so he has seen an extra, an extra card. Fair enough.
Yeah, but I think
Resto Angel, does that do anything?
Well, look, I mean, you just resolve it while your opponent's stepped out, right?
There is also an Eidolon of Rhetoric sitting in Ben's hand. Seems tempting to throw that out, try and cut off some of Lachlan's cantrips.
Maybe he just wants to get in the air. It looks like he's definitely debating. He's having the same conversation with himself right now, and
I think just being mana efficient is pretty important.
Yeah, I think so too. I can't tell what the other cards in his hand are, but
I think he's got a light shooter up the front there. After this frustration.
Well, so either way, he would get to be mana efficient, right? Okay, so this card turns out to have been a daze. Wow. Strong.
Yeah, it's a perfect card. I guess it gives you some information about why Wordsmith felt so confident about just being able to jam down this True Name.
Yeah.
And also just being able to jam in with True Name, not being defensive. He's clearly decided that he's going to be the aggressor in this game. He's going to get in damage while he can.
The only card I know about in his hand is like Fire and Ice, which I don't know, can buy him some time at some point in the game.
There's a Jason and Vendilion Click sitting in there.
Yeah, okay. Vendilion Click's very good,
yeah.
6 points damage on board, very strong.
Fire Ice is actually pretty gas, because like tapping down that 4/4 means it's basically just like Time Walk.
Yeah, exactly. Or if he does manage to get a threat in the air, he can just tap it down and take him out. So seeing Eidolon or Rhetoric.
Oh, yeah, we're taking a Eternal Witness.
Eternal Witness, yeah. And Mirren Crusader, Mirren Crusader, not its best here, still
Yeah,
good.
I don't know. Prediction from Black and Green, what do you think?
Yeah, it's still a double striker, right? It's okay. So he's drawn an Aethervial?
Yeah.
That's not a great draw at this point in the game.
It is not a great draw at this point in the game. You are correct.
These green-white decks kind of light on ways to filter their draws. Sylvan Library is a one-of often.
You can definitely put a counter on his Lachlan Spider though. You see it crash in for 4 damage. Before he's going to deploy this Eidolon, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a little bit of out of orbit sequencing here. Should have played that Aethervial first. Yeah, Ben realizes it. just a little bit of a misstep here. Like, I don't think it's going to matter too much. That Aethervial is pretty irrelevant at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's just going to chew in his hands. Doesn't do tons.
If that Eidolon had if he had gone for that instead of the Resto last turn, would if he shot himself in the foot when Lachlan resolved that Vendilion Click, he wouldn't have been able to draw off the trigger. He would have just sent the card to the bottom. Is that how that would work?
The Eidolon is the you can only cast one spell.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm thinking of
if it was a Spirit in the Labyrinth, you're correct.
Yeah.
He would have been punished by Vendilion Click. Vendilion Click is very, very good.
Getting my enchantment creatures mixed up.
When dealing with Spirit. But yeah, Jace just being 4 mana, unsummon your 4/4. Attack you for 6. And Jace just being a Time Walk here, it's so good because like the Eidolon can't really kill Jace unless he wants to devote his entire turn to townshipping, which to be honest, I couldn't fault him for doing that. Like I think township, play the Aetherval is a perfectly reasonable play here. Just trading your turn to deal with Jace. So if you just redeploy the Smiter, he's just going to bounce with Jace, even if it kills Jace. Like it doesn't matter. He's just winning the race.
Yeah.
And Ben's dead in 2 turns here, right?
Yeah. Exactly. No, he needs a little bit more burn, but definitely a possibility that he could get burnt out this turn, especially if he doesn't take out the Jace, which could then brainstorm. Yeah. He wouldn't even need to bounce the Loxodon Smiter. Yeah. He would just almost certainly brainstorm, given his high life total and need to protect his threats.
Popping down the late Aetherval here.
When he's so close to death,
Yeah, look, I don't think the fetch line really matters too much in terms of...
No, it doesn't really change the clock.
Yeah.
It
is a green one, so if he's playing Dryad Arbor, he could have got Dryad Arbor. And maybe like getting Dryad Arbor before this township happened, and so he could have a 2/2 and like kind of try and race Wordsmith. Wouldn't be too bad because he could get the Dryad as a 2/2 and then township again and attack back for 6. So if he wasn't dying in 2 turns, it'd be an alright clock.
Yeah. And even still, maybe it was just a better way to use his mana than cast the Aetherval.
Yeah, because the Aetherval is so relevant at this point.
Yeah. Wordsmith, maybe, I don't know, just writing this one out, he probably feels pretty confident in this position.
Yeah, definitely. Being able to put your opponent to 3 when you have a true name and a flyer and they have nothing.
And now a manland. So he needs a removal spell, a wasteland, and an edict. Oh no, I suppose he can block the manland, so he doesn't need the wasteland. He just needs a removal spell and a white edict.
Wasteland, huh? Well, he can definitely take care of Wandering Shimmerl. That's not a problem. Not a problem for him. So there's Wasteland, Smiter, and one unknown that we can't quite figure out at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that one is.
It's not Smiter, that's for sure. Oh yeah, there we go. Extending the hand. Definitely couldn't be the Fire Ice in hand either, I don't think.
Yeah, no, the Stifle's also kind of interesting. Stifle any township activations?
Yeah, Stifle the Wasteland.
Something like that.
Alright, well, thank you everybody for joining us for our second Highlander video. If you want information on the format, please visit ozeternal.com. You can find the current points list there. If you visit the forums and click on deck lists, you'll be able to find a bunch of lists you can look at and maybe brew up something sweet to play with your friends.
Yeah, we'll have that link in the description.
Thank you. Bye-bye.